Hi, today I'm going to read you 123 Salish Sea, a Pacific Northwest counting book. And I just wanted to read you before I get started the author's note on this, in case some of you don't know about the Salish Sea. The Salish Sea is one of the largest inland seas in the world. It extends from Olympia, Washington, that's in the United States, to the south, in the south, to Campbell River, British Columbia in the north. That's in Canada. And west to Nia Bay in Washington State. The sea is named in honor of the Coast Salish people who have cared for the water and land since time immemorial. And one more little thing in the note. This is a book about some of my favorite creatures that I share the Salish Sea with. What creatures share the world you live in? Look around. Notice. Become aware of your full community. It is bigger than you or anything human built. Now, who's the author? You can see it here. Nikki McClure. She lives in Olympia, Washington. All right. This book is a really new one. It was done in 2021, I believe. Let me just double check. Yeah, 2021. All right. First creature here, starting at number 1. One stubby squid exploring below. I had to look up what a stubby squid was. I didn't think there was such a thing. But now I know there are. 2 banana slugs intertwined. Look at those banana slugs. Maybe you've seen those in the woods. 3 lump suckers hanging on. I'll read 4. 4 moon jellies drifting about. So 3 lump sucker fish over here and 4 moon jellies. Moon jellies are quite fun to look at in the ocean. They look clear. 5 salmon swimming home. Yes, those salmon have quite the journey. Start in the river, go out to the ocean, and then they come back to the river. 6 nudibranchs dancing at night. 7 seals napping all day. There's nudibranchs. They are amazing creatures here. And then the seals, too. You might see them just lounging about during the day. 8 kelp crabs lunching in a forest. What kind of forest do you think that is? That is a kelp forest. Those kelp crabs. They're about the same color, so you might not see them. You have to look really closely. 9 orcas hunting together. Look at those orcas. And you'll see right at the bottom there's a school of herring probably. They wrap them all in a big ball and then they go in and eat them. 10 sand lances in an auklet's bill. So sand lances are those little fish. Look at that beautiful auklet. It's such a pretty bird. 20 clams for an octopus's feast. Clams and their suckers on their arms. They have 8 arms, right? You probably know that. Put these nice suckers on there, and they love eating clams. Okay, that was 20. Now we're going to start jumping in numbers. 50 surf scoters diving deep. Surf scoters, you might see those out on the ocean. A whole big flock of them out there. 100 sculpins in a clam garden pool. Well, there's a fun thing about this one. Look at those toes. Look at those toes there in the clam garden. Maybe you want to look up what a clam garden is too. Sculpins are little tiny little fish here. 500 dunlins flying as one. Oh, you might have seen these birds. They all fly in a nice big pattern, dipping and diving over the ocean. 1,000 years of a cedar tree sharing life. Look at that big old cedar tree, 1,000 years old. Fantastic. And they're living side by side with little birds here, butterflies, mushrooms, and maybe this is some salal, and you can see an owl up there in the tree. 1,000-year-old cedars. That's very, very old growth. Here we're jumping up to 10,000 plankton glowing at midnight. Look at, if you went out at midnight and well, you could probably go out as soon as it got dark and looked over the side of a boat, you might see all these beautiful creatures floating in here. Some are animals, some are plants, and they might be glowing in the dark. Sometimes if you just sweep your hand through the water, you can see that glow. It's so beautiful. Oh boy, here we go. 1 million raindrops returning to the Salish Sea. That's the other thing about this area where the Salish Sea is. There's kind of like a rainforest around here. That's why it's so green where I am. I'm in Nanaimo, BC. Right, there you go. From 1 to 1 million. There, I got to show this last little illustration here. Look at that there's probably a little eel inside a broken bottle, some barnacles on top, little octopus looking around. Anyway, that's the Salish Sea by Nikki McClure. 1, 2, 3, Salish Sea.